Page 10, Song of the Brook. On this page, introducing you to a real interesting challenge for a lot of people, and that is dotted quarter notes. You've had the dotted notes all along, so let me explain what's going on here. And let's not make this too complicated. But I have a wide range of viewers who view these videos, and some people get it with one explanation and other people get it with a different explanation. So I tend to explain this more than once differently. I don't mean to confuse you, just understand I'm explaining the same thing but looking at it from different angles. Let's go back to the dotted half note. Now the rule for dots is the same, it doesn't matter what the note is. And that is the dot gets half the value of the note. So how many beats does the note get? Whatever that is, the dot gets half of it. Yeah, let's take 3/4 time, that's what this is. And you see the dotted half note at the end, or in the middle. There's dotted half notes in here. A half note in 3/4 time would get 2 counts, because it's the same as 2 quarter notes. 2 counts. Well, the dot would get half of that, which is 1 count, so that together it would be 3 counts total. We've had dotted half notes all along. Okay. Another way of looking at it is the dotted note is 3 of whatever the next smaller note is. Doesn't matter what it is. So a dotted half note is the same as 3 quarter notes. Dotted quarter note is the same as 3 eighth notes. And it's just, a dotted whole note would be the same as 3 half notes. Okay. And that doesn't matter what the time signature is. It's always that. Now you can look at the music here at the beginning. The first measure in the right hand, you have a C sharp. It is a quarter note. It gets 1 count. That means the dot is going to get a half a count because that's half of 1. That means the eighth note comes on the end of 2 because the quarter note comes on beat 1. The dot comes on beat 2 because a quarter note takes a whole beat. Nothing else can be in that beat. The quarter note gets it all. Then the dot comes on beat 2. And it gets a half a beat. So then it takes up 1 and 2, and then something comes on the end of 2, and here it's an eighth note. So it's 1 and 2 and. Another way of looking at it. Sometimes you can look at the music like here and you see between the staves, the bottom line, the bottom staff, is playing quarter notes. Those are on the beat. And if you compare the 2 staves, if the music is printed, not all music is printed clearly, but this is, and you can compare and you can see when the notes line up, you play them at the same time. At the beginning, you have an A and a C sharp, and then you have a C sharp in the left hand, and then the D comes in between the quarter notes here, so it's here. So it comes in between them. You can see that relationship. There. The surest way of figuring it out is simply to count it. Know how many beats the note gets. Know how many beats the dot gets, which is half the note. And count it out carefully that way. Now let's look this piece over and see what else is going on here. It's 3 lines long, treble and bass clef, 3 sharps. Well, where did that come from? 3 sharps. Leave it to John Thompson, just throw these things at you. Oh, have a nice day. Here's 3 sharps. I guess we've had these before, I hope. It's in the key of A major. A major has 3 sharps. And the sharps in the key signature always come in the same order. So once you learn them, you don't have to figure out which ones they are. You just know them. The first sharp is always an F sharp. Always. The second sharp is always a C sharp. Okay. And the third sharp is always a G sharp. So we got those 3 sharps. Those 3 notes are going to be played sharped automatically. So here at the beginning, you're in this position because of the C sharp. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and. It's kind of repetitious. Get it? And then finally in the second line, last 2 measures, you get quarter notes because the left hand gets, oh goody. And then the last line, let's take the last 4 measures. You're here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, rest. The notes are written here, but it has an 8VA above the staff. That means you go up an octave. So during the rest, you come up to this position, from here to here, and you play them up here. That's all. So the last 2 measures is 1, rest, 1, 2, 3. Left hand. The left hand starts out with broken chords. So the A here, you're in this position, and just then 5/7 chord, just come down, G sharp. Remember, it's in the key signature. And then the second line, last 2 measures, then this gets it. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. Then here, and then here. See, they switched them. You get the E first, and then the A and the C sharp together. We're back to this 1 note to 2. I talked about this before. And during the rest, you come up because you get a treble clef there. So you come up to here, to this position. Here. So once you kind of got an idea what each hand is doing, then we'll see what we can do in putting them together. We're just trying to figure out now which notes play at the same time. Hesitate all you need to is not important. We just need to know which fingers are working together. Here, we're here. That works together. And then you have this and this here. There. 1 and 2. And then here. And then here. Bring the little finger down. So you go through and put it all together. Now the last 2 measures, you have to move. You're here. In this position, we got to come up to this position. There's a couple of ways we can do this here. You decide what works for you. You need to get good at both ways eventually. You have a rest. So you can, if you do it fairly quickly, you move one hand and then the other. So you can focus on the hand, but you only get 1 beat rest, so don't take a lot of time. It's like here. Or you can try and move both hands the same, because it's the same position, they're moving the same distance. You might be able to do that. But focus on the finger. Get the finger, you're here, and we want to come to here. Thumb and 3rd finger. Well, that's what we want. The other fingers, we'll deal with them later. Those fingers got to be in position. To here. Rest. So practice. We practice hand moves in piano when we need to, because you can't mess up the beat just because you move the hand around. Then once you get the first note, then you can get in position to play the others. Now once you have a handle on the notes and rhythms, then we'll think about the articulation. They give you staccatos for the chords, and they give you a slur for the end. You have to connect those. Otherwise, it's up to you. What do you want to do? I could do this. Or I could connect it and make it smooth. Or it could be a combination of both. It doesn't say anything. It's my choice. So you decide, or your teacher will decide for you how you do it. When I first learn a piece, I connect everything. But then when I get to the articulation, I got to think about what I want to do. In the second line, last 2 measures, you have staccato, but connect this. So here, connect, and this don't. Can you do that at the same time? Connect. Rest. So at the end, they tell you to connect it. You don't have a choice. But these others, you got choices. Now, if you can hear the musical sentences or the musical thoughts, you can put those in. You just lift up between them. It's like taking a breath. And to do that, I got to play the melody kind of quick, because that helps me hear it better. So here it'd be To me, that's one thought. So then I'd lift up. It's like just a little lift up. It's like taking a breath. You're just cutting that note a little bit short so you can lift up. And lift up, and then right. So if you want to put in the phrasing, do that. But it's only for the melody. The other hand is going to connect. So can you lift up in one hand and not the other? Well, you have to anyway. It's the way it's done. So at the last two measures of the first line, you're here. You lift up. Here I don't. See, I'm lifting up here, but not here. Now when I get to the dotted half note, I have to lift both hands up here. Because now the left hand gets it. Lift up. Lift up. And the right hand gets it. There, so you can put in the phrasing if you want. And once you have an idea of the articulation, and you can keep experimenting with your articulation, it's just, you need to get an idea of what it is. If you're not sure what to do, then just connect everything. Then the dynamics, it goes to the melody. Mezzo piano is moderately soft, and you get the hairpin to go up to moderately loud. They don't tell you how loud to get, I'm just saying go up to moderately loud. Here, here. And you're staying there, come down, and then again. And then when the left hand gets it, that's soft, piano. And then the last line you come up. And then very soft. Both hands. There's no melody here. It's all chords. Keep the other hand out of the way. Speed, andantino. Oh, I don't like andantino because people don't agree on what it means. No matter what you do or what you say, there'll be somebody who says, no, that's not right. Andantino is near andante. Andante is kind of a casual stroll. Some people think andantino is faster than andante, and other people say it's slower than andante. And frankly, I really don't care. Pick one. But I just kind of take it andante and leave it at that. Just a casual stroll. You're walking along, but you're not really headed anywhere. You're just going. You know? That's my guess at it. I might play it a little faster and slower depending on how much coffee I've had to drink or whatever. It's in there. You got to get into it where you can feel this music and start interpreting it. Feel it. Feel these. Feel the dynamic range and so forth. Let's play it together very slowly and double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to connect everything. I will lift up for the phrasing. I think it's a good idea to phrase it. Otherwise, I'm going to connect everything except the staccatos. So I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3, off.